Hey, what's up, guys? It's aspiring psychiatrist here. I hope you guys are having a good day so far. I'm making another video. I'm kind of quickly preparing it. The last one I made on a lot of the nuances of, death and dying didn't do so well, but I'm okay with that. I mostly made it for myself, but this one's going to be a reaction video to the Myron Gaines college campus debate. And I'm going to say very quickly before we really even get into the depths of it. I've watched up until about, I'd say this point, and it's been a lot to mentally process these debates fully and to be able to have exposition on them. So I'm going to completely roast these people, and I think that most of them are basically idiots, and I don't feel bad for any of the things that I'm going to say in this video because the colleges as a institution have failed students countlessly because of their methodologies.
If you were in that situation and you were in front of her like that, your name?
I'm Dan.
Hi, Dan. How are you?
I'm good. First of all, thank you for coming to our campus. My name is Dan Bitterman. I'm a senior in LSA. I'm also the campus fellow for Get This and Jew Hatred.
Okay.
So did he say get this? So first he starts with welcome and thank you to soften him up, and then he starts immediately going into aggression, baring his pig teeth.
Also the president of Students Supporting Israel on
Sure.
campus.
I don't care
so my
about the fact that he's Jewish. That does not justify the way he behaves,
Question for you is this.
nor does it define his character collectively.
Many of us, regardless of political association, closely followed Turning Point's MFest conference, to which you unfortunately were not important enough to be invited as a speaker, but rather as an
Not important to be invited enough. If that is your metric for your life decisions, you are a loser.
attendee. There you wore a shirt which is now on your hat, likely as a desperate attempt to stay relevant, wearing a let him cook shirt and hat.
Stay relevant. Social media mentalities are disgusting and nauseating. Attention does not inherently make any idea good or bad or actually of any quality. That is not even how modern research or modern high-level literature works. This man is an idiot, right? We know that.
Referencing and insinuating the support for the gassing of 6 million Jews in the Holocaust, a number which you regularly and not too long ago just denied. My question to you is this. What is your response to the over 6,000 Jewish students on this campus across a political spectrum that feel incredibly unsafe that someone like yourself is on our college campus?
So
Feel incredibly unsafe because of what?
say that last.
What is this? Why would you come at someone with this whole prepared? This guy is a loser. He is a person who needs to get back into the gym.
Question.
What is your response to the over 6,000 Jewish students at this campus across a political spectrum that feel incredibly unsafe that you're here?
Stop being a bitch. I'm not gonna hurt nobody. I don't know what the hell. This is the United States of America, man. Freedom of speech is a thing here. It's not Tel Aviv. If you guys don't like it, go back to fucking Tel Aviv, man. That's the reality. We got the First Amendment. That's what makes this country so great. And then we got the Second Amendment to protect that. I obviously never condone violence. I never condone any type of hatred towards someone simply because of their religion, their skin color, whatever. What was that?
What did you just do?
Well, here's the thing. I talk about general realities, but in no way am I saying, oh.
I don't think that yarmulke or whatever, what is that thing he's wearing? I don't even know. I don't think that's a skin color. He's getting completely nonsensical. Look at the pride and the anger in this filthy mongrel's eyes. What a disgusting.
Hey, Jewish people or anything like that. My thing is, because this is the Jewish...
I think Myron's stupid as well, but he's obviously trolling. The let him cook thing is a joke. And look at the little smirk he has. What a nauseating pig.
tactic right here. Literally, it's if you're critical of certain narratives or if you're critical of Judaism or Zionism or the state of Israel or how they just got done doing a genocide, it's automatically you're anti-Semitic or you make me feel unsafe. It's all a Jewish ploy to try to victimize themselves, when in reality, you guys have been the ones victimizing a bunch of innocent Palestinians, and someone like me calling it out gets labeled as, oh, well, you promote hatred, blah, blah, blah. Well, look, if I exercise my voice to talk about how you guys are killing innocent children, and that makes you feel unsafe, well, I don't know what to say, because the reality is that Israel's that's doing a lot of the aggression here.
So let's just kind of wrap this up quickly, because what they say is so incredibly stupid, it's not worth my time. So first things first, and this you can Google and it will all be factual, but I could Google it here. I don't think I care enough to edit this presentation of information because of how low quality a lot of this media has become. But the bottom line is that Hamas began the terrorist attacks in the Middle East. They actually were doing terrorist attacks against freighter ships in the Suez Canal, right? If you look up the Suez Canal. And the reason that's so important is because basically that saves freight ships days worth of time and millions of dollars from going around Africa, right? So here we go. Here's Israel. Hamas is somewhere in this region. They're having beef, and then there's Houthi Hamas terrorists that are basically committing terrorist attacks on freight ships that have billions of dollars worth of cargo. Why is it so important? Because it has nothing to do with being Jewish. Hamas is essentially a collective of subgroups or sub-factions, right? They're not actually a complete and structured regime, right? And so this idea that, oh, the people in Hamas were the victims, the Palestinians were the victims. Oh no, it's the people who were this particular nuance of Hamas, the Furqan brigades that were doing these terrorist attacks against ships that were trying to pass through the Suez Canal. They are the bad guys. It's a collective failure of humanity to sustain peace and an economic structure. They messed with a highly valuable trade route with corporations and geopolitical entities that wanted to preserve their interest, and they got destroyed. That's all it is. That's all it is. This victim complex match is stupidity. I could care less. This next fellow is an idiot. He looks like he's either has autism.
And then they're going to be sent back to Afghanistan. Like,
Well, not necessarily. If they can demonstrate
Or
credible.
he's pretty low IQ. They don't teach the Socratic theory anymore in colleges. This guy, he can use his frontal cortex, but I wasn't particularly impressed. This woman says something incredibly stupid about shooting tires and ICE agents shooting tires. It wasn't really that interesting. Here we go with a intersex person ruining the reputation of their community. Here we go.
Okay, so I'm not going to waste too much of your time. First, thanks for gendering me properly. This does not look like a stove, so I'm not going to waste much of your time, so I can
You
get back to
said, you said
one.
what? Gendering properly?
Yes, because these gentlemen asked, or I could hear them talking like, oh, is that a tranny? I'd be happy to say, I was born intersex.
No one cares. No one cares. And the quote by Martin Luther King, where he says, should the quality of your, the quality of your character over the color of your skin, right? That sentiment, right? No one cares that you are transgender. Who cares?
And
Wait,
it's
what?
kind of pathetic.
Born
That has-
intersex?
Yes. That has nothing to do with this. I'm just
And obviously
addressing this
Myron is
for the record in
confused,
front
but-
of everyone how pathetic that is.
I
while
think
I'm
there's
going to
only
ask
two
a question.
genders. I don't think intersex is a thing, but that's fine.
Okay, well,
What kind of seeds of insecurity in yourself do you have to have for your sexuality to be the first thing that is a critical component, the first thing that is essentially a critical component of pride? What kind of narcissistic cognitive framework do you need to have for that to be the case? What awfully disgusting and unintelligent human beings these are.
look at an
I'm sorry.
actual, maybe graduate, college level biology textbook, and you'll realize beyond high school biology.
Were you born with a dick?
Was I born with ovary parts? Yeah.
Thank you, Myron. Thank you so much. This man is truly a leader of America, the Charlie Kirk 2.0.
Okay, so you're born with
Were
a
you
dick.
born
Okay,
with a dick?
Got it.
Okay, yes, but that's neither here nor there, and absolutely pathetic. Only thing I want
Two
to
genders.
address is that you had an officer who was shell-shocked, pretty much, several months before the shooting, who perhaps should not have been on the force because any other officer who had not had that experience several months prior would not have pulled the trigger in that instance, I do not believe.
Well, okay, so it's interesting that you bring that up. Him being dragged 6 months prior actually lends strength.
No, it does.
He was put through an underlying trauma. That's what this person is claiming, and that justifies their current actions. I don't really see why that would be the case. So the officer was dragged by a car. This intersex person, why is that at the core of your identity? You need to grow a personality, is saying that is further justification for the incompetence of ICE. He's saying ICE are simply composed of human beings, and it gives credence to the fact that they should enforce the government law or something. It's this very, it's this false paradigm. It's this very low IQ duality because we don't teach the Socratic theory in colleges anymore. The colleges are a joke.
To the
Not
shooting, yeah,
because
see,
no,
of course.
because it increases your threshold, or rather lowers it for what you actually think is a threat. That's why you have hypervigilance in PTSD victims.
Okay.
So,
The victim
that-
mentality, that is so empowering.
that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave, go back to a kitchen.
Why do they always do this? Every time.
And then what do they do after that, right? So it's like this kind of, okay, because you have dehumanized my sexual identity,
These trannies, like,
Now
they'll
I
just,
will
yeah,
act
they'll give their point and then
aggressively,
they'll just walk away. It's like, we
and
don't
I
want to
will
debate.
dehumanize
It's like,
you.
what's going on here?
because I lacked a father figure.
You go over there. Don't.
Right? You see them leaning in, right?
You got to back up. You got to back up. You got to back up.
Being intersex does not justify the way you behave. You're a disgusting. I'm nauseous by the sight of it. That is a disgusting, narcissistic human being who is an embarrassment to the intersex community.
See, these people are crazy. I told y'all, man.
No.
Holy. Nuts.
I'm glad this is filmed. I cannot wait to see it later. The fact,
You're making yourself look crazy, but it's fine.
no, because you gender me properly over there when I come up and then I bring up the topic.
Yeah, I mean, when
I
I
don't
looked, I
care.
saw
I'm
long red hair. I
proud.
didn't know what it was. Now that you're talking more, and then whatever, like, yeah, I don't know what.
And the red hair looks,
You're a dude, man, or whatever.
No,
you were born
beautiful.
as, but
regardless
you're a
of
dude.
someone.
I will respect your right to say that uncensored, but also acknowledge that while this is aired, there will be a lot of people who think you sound absolutely ridiculous.
There's
There'll
two
be people
genders.
who don't, but
There's two genders. If you don't want to, accept reality, that's fine. But we weren't even talking about that.
No,
My thing is, I
because-
find it interesting how you go ahead and you give your statement of like, oh well,
The audio
no,
fluctuates.
I'm going
PTSD.
to
I
address
really
how
have
you
to adjust
started
it.
it by saying I should be in the kitchen, giving a female stereotype.
Well-
as soon as I bring it up to thank you of that, to mock the fact that okay, this is also not an oven,
This person struggling mentally, that is aside from their intersex condition.
and hearing people talk, oh, is that a tranny? Yes, I will bring it up because I'm not ashamed. Because anyone with
This
a
is the
brain
person who complains to the campus police.
who can read
This
a
is the
textbook
person
and realize
who complains to the campus police, says that someone was doing something inappropriate, and then does something inappropriate themselves in class at a later point.
that
Yeah,
is
so
just
I-
moronic on your part.
let
and
me
I'm
say
gonna
this.
leave because you don't have any education.
I did
on
misgender
that.
you. My bad. You should be in a garage, not a kitchen.
Okay, I'll find one. I'll
Yeah.
go back to Randall and do that.
Yeah,
Thanks.
not a kitchen. You should be in a
Who's
garage.
Randall?
So
What is Randall? I don't know what that is. It's some campus thing. It makes no contextual sense. Asian guy says something boring. This guy says something boring. I'm not still looking through this. I'm not trying to be mean. It's just this guy pushes back on some of the earlier claims. This fellow, darker skinned fellow in the hoodie, who's pretty well dressed. Basically, they clarify that the man earlier, the Jewish individual in the beginning, was lying and being deceptive. Oh, great, how wonderful! Because he's Jewish, right? That's I see the correlation here, and he has a Muslim epistemology or frame of seeing the world. Wow, I'm really highly entertained. So let's keep going. We have here some other stupid people, and then we have, I would say, and pardon me if this makes me an incel for thinking this, but here we have essentially the grand opus retard. This is peak retardation. It is a woman. It's not because it's a woman. Also, I do not care the slightest about this person's political views or whatever ideological sticker they put on themselves to justify their behavior, whatever label they have in their mind to justify the lack of coherence in their world.
So I had like a fairly long question, so just bear with me for a second. So,
you have the Cliff version.
so
Oh, serious.
I'm a
No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. Just try to make it, concise.
yeah. So I'm planning on going into the medical field, right? Because I feel passionate about helping people, etc., right? And I feel good that my life is going to be like that. So how
Okay, so this is a political debate event. No one asked, first of all.
does someone like you, who you essentially get
And then you can hear,
paid
listen
to
to
be
her tone.
like a laughing stock, right?
So she calls him a laughing stock. take the covering off your face, you narcissistic pig.
And the only people who really look up to you are antisocial losers, right? So it's kind of like,
What do you? So that generalization comes from a deep narcissism that is a cognitive deficit. It is a pride that is so deeply ingrained into her mind that she can't see past, I guess, the end of her nose. These are people who are going to have self-fulfilling prophecies in their careers.
if I was you, I think I'd just kill myself. So I don't really know.
And then she started off with saying she wanted to be a healthcare provider. This person is, I don't want to wish any ill upon their career because that's foolish, but in no way have they demonstrated. She's saying if she was in his perspective, she would just kill herself. So she's using empathy as a tool to belittle and to insult her opponent, basically. She's completely a psychopath, and she's sitting there face covered, no self-awareness at all. This is why modern men are losing interest in the women in this country.
Feel passionate about helping people, etc., right? And I feel good that my life is going to be like that. So how does someone like you, who you essentially get paid to be like a laughingstock, right? And the only people who really look up to you are antisocial losers, right? So it's kind of like, if I was you, I think I'd just kill myself. So I don't really know.
It's okay, guys. Let her give her take. It's fine. This is what the First Amendment is. Unlike progressive,
This is below 80 IQ.
we let them say what they want to say. We don't censor them. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm here for
Has
charity.
nothing to do with healthcare, has nothing to do with politics. This is just a person who is a filthy pig narcissist.
Yeah. What else? Well, so kill myself. What was the other one? I'm a loser. What else?
No, your fans are losers. That was.
My fans were losers. Okay.
Okay. Well,
Okay. Anything else?
That's true. That's true.
So was there like an argument here, or
Is
just
there an
ad
argument
homs?
here? People like
You.
you argue in bad faith. I don't.
argue in bad faith you just told someone to kill themselves. Listen, I'm not going to complain about the white women thing, but I don't know what else there is to say.
Feel like I don't have enough respect for you to do this.
Culturally, not racially.
Okay. So isn't this awesome? This is what, see, I actually like that she did this because this is what progressives do. They come up, they don't actually challenge any of your statements or your, ideologies or your facts. What they do is they just insult you personally, say you're a bad person, kill yourself, and then they take the moral high ground and say you're not even worthy of a debate.
Look at that little oh, I got this, I'm affirming my narcissism head.
Let me ask you this. Where have I lied?
Oh my fucking god.
And then she's like freezing up
Okay.
as if she's the main protagonist of her narrative and now she's being confronted with the side character or something.
Oh my god, I really didn't want to do this. But
Didn't want to do what? You've done nothing with your life.
the whole thing with Renee Good, right?
Yep.
You're saying like she was doing something illegal. Okay. You know what? I'll meet you there. Okay? Let's say she was doing something illegal. So police are actually trained to use lethal force in only the absolute worst of situations. There's actually a training on what you should do if a vehicle is approaching you that all police officers are forced to take, right? And that
The fact I'm listening to this nagging is honestly a gift to her blood lineage.
definitely it involves getting out of the way of the vehicle and trying to de-escalate before you shoot someone in the face. So generally.
Okay, so it's kind of interesting that you say that because I actually went through this training that you're trying to talk about, and nowhere in the training do they tell you, okay, here's a class on how to get out of the way of a moving car. No, they teach you how to escalate properly, how to, identify threats, making sure that people keep their hands in certain places where you can see them. So there is no specific training because I actually went to the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center. I went through HSI SAT. I was an HSI special agent before I did this. So I'm very familiar with ICE training in itself, and there is no specific class at FLETC that says, okay, this is like what you got to do if a car's coming at you. You just need to know, hey, if deadly force is being used against you, which your car absolutely qualifies, has been deemed from much case law, you can go ahead and respond with deadly force as well. That's just the reality. Now, look, I'm not here to debate the morality of it. I'm here to debate the reality of it and the legality of it. And from a legal perspective, he was 100% justified.
Right.
See what she has to say.
So I mean, if we're like,
You could get on the mic
TikTok.
after whoever said that.
Yeah, TikTok.
I mean, that's not really relevant to the debate here. You know, that's because that's a subjective thing. Like, one person might say it was immoral, another person will say he was acting in self-defense. So that's a subjective thing. But if you disagree,
Right. Look at the little disgusting lemon animal eyes this woman has. Right. You can see the pride and the arrogance simply in her. So what a filthy narcissist. So let's just take a step back here, kind of wrap up quickly on this current part because it's getting boring. They went into a debate over the woman who was recently shot. She's basically implicitly affirming that we need to, this woman here, rebel against the government in some way. I do not care about either perspective, the pro or anti-government ideology. These are human beings, right? These are human beings. And the state of Michigan, I believe that's where most of this is going down. It's not that nice of a state. I could care less. But it's simply a reflection of the culture of Michigan and the reciprocal states and the effectiveness of the police force of that municipality. These broad, sweeping generalizations over the effectiveness of government as a whole and the lack of any kind of clarity or nuance in the moral debate is just a sign that colleges are teaching weaponized stupidity.
just get on the line and I'll have a discussion with you.
The paradigm of the moral versus the legal argument is a valid paradigm. She was mostly bringing up that even though it was legal, it was immoral. It was a rug pull. It was a juxtaposition. It was a stupid brain argument by an idiot, more or less.
But yeah, sorry. So that is the.
She is an idiot.
My thing is it was self-defense. She broke the law. She came at him with a vehicle. It is what it is. I'm not celebrating her death. Like, I'm not one of these sickos that's going to sit there and be like, yeah, she deserved it. No, but you can't run at a federal agent with a vehicle. I'm sorry. You can't do that.
I mean, you.
I could
asked
care
me
less about the
earlier,
situation. It's just the mentally ill lemons and pygmies of the colleges in the northern part of this country that I find so fascinating. To be quite frank.
Like, where did you lie? It is like true that there is a training on how to deal with specifically a vehicle. in
Okay.
Virginia.
And then she says there's a training for that. There's not. I Googled it. Here we go. This one's called Chucky. There's a crash out. I would say it's mildly interesting, but not really that interesting. But for the sake of argument, this one is kind of the peak of the narrative. And then there's this woman who's a disgusting nag later on. I believe this is a man. This next one is a woman in terms of their biological propensities. And then we'll have the last one to finish up on. That'll be it. If I'm bored,
hey
I
guys,
skip ahead. I don't
Come on.
care
Let's
about
show a little bit of respect,
these
man.
individuals.
Let's let him get his.
Except Myron,
thoughts
he's
out.
cool.
What's up?
He's hosting it, getting
Hi.
disrespected by people with mommy and daddy issues,
How's it going?
I'm good.
aka
How are you?
narcissist.
Okay. So you said to begin with you're a Nazi, correct?
Well, I was kind of fucking around, but if you want to go there and say that, that's fine. If you think I'm a Nazi, then I'm a Nazi. Like,
No,
I've
I'm-
gotten to a point now where I don't even care if people call me a Nazi or not, because it's like, no matter what, if you have any type of conservative or right-wing viewpoints, you're always going to be labeled as a Nazi to somebody.
I
So-
disagree.
What's that?
I disagree.
So you don't think I'm a Nazi?
Well, I don't think all conservatives will be labeled Nazis.
That's
I think conservatism has gone way too far, but that's not the point.
that's fine.
I just want to
The National Socialist German Workers' Party. Right, pardon. The National Socialist German Workers' Party. That's what Nazi means. So, right-wing conservative politics, small government, or is not definitely. The Nazis were not conservative in terms of their fiscal policy. Now, in terms of their cultural values, yes, it would make sense because there was this kind of pride, right? This kind of true German, true believer, true Hitler follower kind of, who is the best hero cult worshiper. That there is some validity to that perspective, but you'd have to make that argument. So this person's delusional.
hear you had asked her, where did you lie, right?
Yeah.
Well, for one, I have not heard you quote any facts or anything so far. So I would just be curious.
Well, we couldn't even get that far because she didn't even.
And we have a person
So-
saying "kill yourself." What are you talking about? This person's an idiot.
Just to be honest, I've never heard of you before, and nor did I want to. But I looked you up on Instagram.
No one cares if you've never heard of anyone. Okay, the internet is not all of life. The internet is not even a valid microcosm of news events, generally speaking.
before this.
No one cares
and-
about relevance. Okay, that's not real life.
the first 5 things that I saw were you being like extremely misogynistic and saying that, you know, men and women are not equal. So I'm just curious, and like I think on the Instagram reel that I saw, you had said that like women are intellectually inferior and should not be trusted to make decisions for themselves. Do you mind expanding upon that and, I don't know, giving any scientific evidence to prove that?
Well, here's the thing. Men are better than women at almost everything. You know, from a physical standpoint, lung capacity, strength, muscle density, height.
So we basically are going down the, this is my favorite. Oh, I love this one. Oh yeah, we're going down the appeal to nature logical fallacy. Because of men's biological propensities, they are inherently superior. Okay, so this has gone full retard. The college as a institution is useless to critical thinking.
Aerobic capacity, lung capacity. Like, we're just better.
That's why healthcare providers have to be in school for so long, because we can't teach critical skill. We've abandoned traditions of such.
At almost everything. We're physically superior to women. And I'm tired of having to, you know, pretend that we're not, right? And it's actually kind of funny because I actually don't think, I think men should be providing and protecting for women.
In the back, it's like, why is that the relative metric? Why? I don't
Most things,
I don't
we
know.
do have a duty and a responsibility to protect them in many ways. So I just don't believe in this egalitarianism between the sexes because it simply doesn't line up with reality.
I was asking for facts, not opinions.
Okay. Did I not just state a bunch of biological facts between men and women, how men are...
All you actually said was that men and women are biologically different, which
That's
is
a fact.
okay.
And that is a fact.
Well, men aren't designed to give to birth children. Women have naturally higher percentages
Also following it down the line, the appeal to nature fallacy.
of body fat. So like
That wasn't my argument.
right.
Uh,
Well,
I said women
what
are
is your
physically
It's just
inferior
stupid.
No, I
to
was asking.
women are
It's
physically
a
inferior to
stupid
men.
way of arguing.
Okay.
And that's a fact.
Okay.
You asked me like what
But that's not. But wait. So to go back to what I actually asked, I said on the Instagram reel you had quoted as being said women are intellectually inferior.
On the platform where people post pictures of their lives and themselves and engage in hero worship, yes, Instagram. This is the highest quality source of information. Absolute genius.
and not to be trusted to make decisions for themselves. Do you mind supporting that with scientific facts and or evidence?
Yeah, I mean, here we go. Every thriving society has been a patriarchy for the most part. Men built
That's
the world
not
around
true at
you,
all.
as a matter of fact. Everything that you
that's
see
n-
and enjoy here was built by men, created by
That's
men, thought of
incorrect.
by
And if he wants to make that case that the authority structures or, or what substantiate virtue, then fine, there's also appeal to authority, right? For some reason, these structures we have are what are inherently virtues,
men.
okay?
Women
That's
don't really
incorrect.
provide infrastructure like that.
This person doesn't know how to think critically.
That's incorrect.
Aspiring college student.
Women don't.
I don't know if this person actually went to college. I can't tell at this point.
Men don't, or women don't provide women don't provide infrastructure.
One more time.
I said, see, you don't even know what you're disagreeing with. You're just disagreeing.
One more time, please.
What I said was, men create the world that we exist in. Women don't. Every society that's ever thrived has been a patriarchy. Has been led by men to some degree.
Give him a
Which
leg of the-
society?
We can use ours for example. Like
Which one?
men create every. Okay, now you're just being.
No, seriously. Are you talking about
See, it's
America, the
interesting
U.S.?
because
No,
I
are
give you
talking
facts,
about
and then
the
you
United States of
move the
America right now?
goalposts.
Right.
It's
And
like
that's-
what is your? What
it's
is your
not
point here?
Myron's
I've
fault
given
the
you
conversation
several
is-
there. It's like, dude,
Myron, listen for a second.
we can focus on because you did. Divorce rates are high. Men as excuse me, like study to say the sky is fucking retarded.
Fuck up.
So here we go with the top
Okay,
10
this fucking guy,
crashouts.
man. Do I need a study to say that 1 + 1 is 2? Do I need a study to say the sky is fucking blue? Do I need a study to
Don't
say you're being a
strawman me.
retard right now?
Stop straw.
Appeal to authority, right? It's the nuance of the nature of the study, the context, and using studies harmoniously that gives the best perspective. It's not, I know a study that's better than your study. You know data that's better than my data. That's not how you do meta-analysis. It's just stupid. It's the fact that this is at a college is strange to me. It's like, what are the professors doing? Are they smoking crack? I don't know.
Like I
strawmanning me
don't.
right now.
Like
Myron,
like,
shut the fuck up. Stop strawmanning me right now and respond to the fucking question, you bitch. Seriously.
hold on. I don't know what this creature is, so I don't want to come off as misogynistic.
I do not care that they're trans.
I don't know if your name is Tom or Tommy.
I do not
But
care.
the point is
and
you're being a fucking retard right now.
you lost me. Okay, so here we go. We're going on to the next one. That was pretty retarded. Whatever this he, she, whatever is, I don't care. We'll listen to this woman. I will verbally lambast probably that person as well. I don't feel bad. And then looking for some people are nice. There's some nice ones tucked in there, but the majority were negative. So I'm just giving realistic exposition on what I see. We'll go to these last two ones that were very brief, very well-spoken people. So let's see what this is.
Hi, what's up?
Hi. I want to ask, do you know the basic
Intonation is pitch and tone. Instantly from the pitch and tone, it's going to be a disagreeable person, which is fine. We'll see what goes on from there. Male or female does not matter to me.
debate structure? And you know what a debate is?
Sure.
Do you know what a debate is? This woman is retarded.
You want to? What's your point here?
Right, yeah.
Okay,
This
then
woman
here-
needs to clean her face better.
I want you to explain your point for ICE did nothing wrong. Explain your reasoning.
Overall, or are we talking about good specifically?
I would talk about good specifically because I actually want to have a dialogue.
Okay. She was there impeding a ICE operation, which is illegal. Officers came up to her, gave her a lawful command to step out the car. She disobeyed, backed up the car. One of the ICE officers drew their gun. They gave more lawful commands. She drove towards
Just an excuse for their behavior.
him. Whether she moved her wheel in a certain way and didn't try to hit him or not isn't really relevant. What is relevant is that she drove the car towards him, which can be interpreted as utilizing deadly force. He reciprocated and self.
Seeing some sadness, then there's like this kind of sad smile, the condescending tone. There's this little grin. I saw her kind of moving her teeth in a pattern.
The
She's
threats with
getting
deadly
angry,
force,
trying to
and-
cover it up.
And he stopped the threat.
You can tell.
Fair enough. Okay, so can we agree that ICE follows under the DOJ projects as a law enforcement?
No, because they're under the Department of Homeland Security, but they follow the Constitution when it comes to use of force.
Yes. But did you know that the Department of Homeland Security actually follows the same legal precedents of DOJ, specifically when it comes to actually enforcing their laws?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So what's your?
So they go to a DOJ stand. That is valid.
Point
Because
is-
policy and law are two different things. So that's why I want to make
I guess he doesn't grasp what a debate is.
sure.
Yeah. So I prepared something because I may not be a former policeman,
Didn't
but
prepare to speak clearly.
I'm training to be a lawyer. So how about this? So how about this? So can we agree that ICE agents generally have to follow the law and the Constitution?
Yep.
Okay. So we want to specifically follow under, say, ICE was started through the Immigration and Nationality Act. True?
No, they started with the Department of Homeland Security Act,
Which-
2003.
Yeah.
But they
which-
enforced the INA.
Yeah, exactly. They were basically supported through the INA.
They enforced the INA.
Debating the origins of this given government alphabet soup. I don't.
They were actually.
And for those of you that are wondering, Immigration Nationality Act is what she's referring to.
Yep. And let's say this. How about this? Under the NIA, in Section 1357, Powers of Immigration Officers and Employees, subsection G1 states that an immigration
Okay, so here we go. Here we go with a legal code, and we'll see what it says. And we're going to humor this person.
officers must carry out such function to the extent consistent with state and local law. True?
Say that again?
This is a direct quote. Immigration officers must carry out such function to the extent consistent with state and local law. That is a direct quote from the law.
Well, again, that's open to interpretation based on certain facts and circumstances. But what is your conclusion here then?
Okay, so here, let's keep going down. So basically, we're following that the legal precedent when it comes to murder and specifically police force use of a deadly weapon follows ICE, correct?
Well, it follows the law.
Yeah, and
Follows ICE. I don't know. It's just she's so so horribly spoken. It's difficult to process the argument. She's making a legal precedent argument relative to if the jurisdiction law for police officers applies to the ICE agents. And if that is the case, I did research, is rather nuanced from the videos I saw.
ICE is under the law.
Yep. So what's your?
Okay, so perfect. So I want to specifically talk about how when it is available or when it is all right to use deadly harm when it's, say, for a police officer, for example, because it's the same thing. And again, you would know this. So
Okay, go ahead.
the main thing
Deadly force.
is that a police officer is only able to use deadly force when
There
they
you
are
go.
reasonably in danger. True? Okay.
Absolutely, yeah.
So here, let's go specifically. Title 1, Section 16.2 of the Justice Manual, which follows the DOJ. Again, this DOJ, and also it follows state, local, and federal law, is said that a law enforcer is not permitted to use deadly force unless the enforcer has reasonable belief that the suspect poses an imminent danger of death or serious physical injury. True?
And then he's going to argue again that the vehicle is a deadly weapon.
Yep.
Okay, so the conditions of that, of what they have to prove, isn't just what they think. We can't just go truly by this, but the specific law indicates that one of the limits is deadly force may not be used solely to prevent the escape of a fleeing suspect, including in a moving vehicle.
Yep.
So we agree he did not shoot the gun to stop the car. You say that?
No, he shot because she was using the car as a weapon. That's
Okay.
the difference.
Okay, but he's specifically using
Two crimes could be committed
That's what they'll debate in court.
at the same time.
Yes.
So
That's
the
why evidence would be collected to reach a reasonable sentence.
car has a dual purpose because it's not just
consequence.
it's being used to escape while simultaneously also being used as a weapon. Why? Since it got used as a weapon, that's what justified him using deadly force. Now, here's the thing you got to understand, because I see what you're trying to do here. You're trying to go on a technicality, whatever. Let's make this very simple for the audience.
Well, because facts don't care about your feelings, apparently.
Well, I'm going to give you right now. I'm going to give you the facts. You mentioned
These hecklers are just hero worship, narcissistic cult of personality drones. They are, I would say, a reflection of a section of the human population that are mongrels or animals, to be quite honest. I mean, it's just stupid. It detracts from the quality of the debate.
imminency. The car was coming at him. Imminent danger. Deadly weapon. He has his gun. Car versus gun. Proportionate. Another part of it as well. Also, law enforcement officers don't have a duty to retreat, according to the state, like the state of Minnesota mandates for other situations. Law enforcement a lot of times actually has to escalate to go ahead and be able to do their job
So blah
appropriately.
blah, back and
so
forth, legal
again,
nuances.
they give her lawful
go to
command.
court.
If a brain knows that she was being
But it's
sarcastic.
still, they don't know. Again, if we're going to be reasonable, you want to say this. Again, it was clear that her hands were in view. It's clear she didn't have a weapon readily available to her that she could instantly grab.
What part of the car is the weapon do you not understand?
No,
What? And then she just says no.
because here, I'm going to get to that. Because the thing is about a moving vehicle, there has to be a reasonable obstruction of being able to move out of the way in a defensive manner. That is actually another subsection of
That's a
when
fair
you
argument.
can use, you say, self-defense. So there had to be a manner in which
Police don't have a duty.
But you can hear him getting hit in the video. I don't want to have to go into the It's just such an awful video to watch. It's a messy situation. It's best left these kinds of discussions for people who have the totality of all the evidence.
to retreat.
No, they have a duty to protect themselves,
They
actually.
they
This
don't have a
person's just jumping the gun. It's not like they're a horrible person.
duty to retreat.
They
They don't have a see.
Not the
This is what you're not
smartest.
getting. It's funny that you're mentioning the DOJ and you're mentioning how he allegedly broke laws of the DOJ.
The pouting lip. How wonderful. I've lost interest. Okay, so let's go on to these last two. Then we will be done, guys. I don't know what happened to me. I was being nice, and I think creatively, I just had like a Pokemon evolution. Just got sick of cultural narcissism. I'm just going to be open about how I feel in some platform because it drives me insane. The stupid things that people say, it does drive me insane. Can't just bottle up my feelings on it forever. I have to at least be open about how I feel in some way, even if that's not on any kind of social media platform because of how corporate and overly regulated things have become.
Yo,
Hey, what's up, Myron? Hey,
Yeah.
I just drove out here from Chicago. I just want to say you're one of the realest dudes out here.
appreciate
You're
that, man.
more real than a lot of these pro-black dudes, because you do more to help black people than these so-called fake-ass pro-black guys, man. And you know what? I'm glad that you're putting an end to dudes acting like bitches and crying over stupid shit. You know, I mean, it's like we gotta have a sense of humor about this shit. Even if I don't agree with everything, like I still fuck with you, man.
I
Like,
appreciate that, man.
you know,
And that's a hierarchy thing, because a lot of people, they'll be like, oh, I disagree with you on this one thing and I hate you now. So, you know, the black community is very sensitive, bro. Me and you both know this, right?
Yeah.
Like anybody here that's black, we know that niggas be crying and complaining about everything.
I mean, it's because like this society has become so feminized that people are acting like bitches. Oh, we disagree, so now I hate you. It's like, nah, that
And
doesn't
here's the other
work.
thing too, because I didn't get a
That
chance to
woman
tell
is
the Jewish
just
guy that,
leaning
which I don't know if he's Jewish,
close.
but he had Jewish
This
behavior.
person behind him is
Like,
too
you know,
close.
if black people could go ahead and use a bunch of derogatory racial terms, why can't anybody else? Like, everybody should be able to do it. I don't care. Like, it's just a word.
Yeah,
So
for me, I'm over the racist thing because you know what? I've been fucked over by black people. I've been fucked over by white people. I've been helped by black people. I've been helped by white people. I mean, I'm so over it. I dealt with real racism when I was younger, and I had to whoop some ass. That's what I did.
Yeah.
You know, so fuck it. You know. But thank you.
No worries, man. No worries. I think like, you know, racism is a very natural tendency from human beings to recognize patterns from certain groups of people.
Yeah.
And, you know, look, bro, let's be honest. If, you know, any one of us, if we're walking down the street and you see like fucking 5 black dudes coming at you in Nike fleece techs, bro, you're crossing the street, bro. You're like, yeah, I'm good. You know, like it is what it is. There's nothing wrong with that, right?
It's
So-
sad, but it's true.
It's the
But you
truth.
know what? The way I look at it, just like when I was coming up, somebody called me a nigger. I said, "Come do that shit to my face," and I whoop his ass.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah, and most people aren't like overtly racist gonna hate you for that. Like they're just gonna be biased to a degree, and that's
Yeah.
fine. I don't care.
Hey,
But yeah, thank you, man.
I make sure they respect me as a man.
Of
Before
course,
anything.
of
Yeah.
course. All right,
Thank you. Thank
awesome. Thank you.
I like
All right,
that
who's
guy.
up next? All right.
Okay, so with that working Joe, kind fellow, he just seemed to be a person with some life experience and some real world lived experience. Here we have the era of the cultural enlightenment.
Right. Hi.
Hi, I've been hearing a lot of, hearing a lot of things you've been saying about like your difficulty with dating and all the other guys. It's difficult.
Okay, just talk in the mic so they can hear you, please.
Yeah,
So-
I've been hearing this difficulty. I really understand it. I just want to say, you would be like, it's really not that hard. You would be like so much hotter if you had a giant.
Okay. So, well, why do they do that? Is that another tranny? Yeah, what is this, man? University of Michigan, you guys got a lot of fucking trannies here, man. What's going on? Holy shit, you guys don't do a mental test before this, huh?
What's up, Myron?
Holy.
I just wanted to ask a quick
All right.
And why is
question.
it that they always like say something, then they just walk off? It's like they never debate. When we were at fucking, where was it, USC? The tranny walked up.
So, as we can all tell, the college campuses are truly a bastion of enlightenment. And if you want my honest take, it's really just this simple. We don't teach the logical fallacies and the Socratic method in colleges. And that leads to these fallacious methodologies of argumentation, regardless of what someone believes in, over and over again. And it's stupid. It's stupid we don't teach that. We don't teach these fundamentals in college, and that is why most college students are, unfortunately, stupid.